Good morning, student of class 12th Commerce. Welcome to Pandya Sir's virtual class on macroeconomics. And today we will be completing our discussion on the chapter Government Budget and the Economy. So in this chapter, we have already discussed the income and expenditure aspect of the government. And in this, we have also discussed the revenue income, the capital income, the revenue expenditure, the capital expenditure. And also we have understood the difference between revenue aspect and capital aspect. How the liability asset status of the government is not disturbed in revenue transaction, whereas the capital is the liability and asset status of the government is disturbed in capital transactions. So today we will be discussing different types of expenditure and their implication on the economy. So first of all, we need to keep in our mind the aspect of development, that is economic development and growth, and the aspect of welfare. Because in this 21st century, almost all the economy in the world are making balance between development and welfare. Being a welfare country, we cannot ignore welfare and concentrate 100% on economic development only. That's why here comes development and non-development expenditure. Government spends, that is government's expenditure. In order to run the economy smoothly, government need to spend. So the types of spending that is meant for economic development are called a developmental expenditure. For example, construction of road, dams, construction of steel plants, bridges, school, hospitals. All these are developmental expenditure of the government because they aims at economic development. Whereas there are some expenditure of the government that is not related to development but completely devoted for welfare purpose, like giving old age pension, giving widow pension, giving scholarship to meritorious students, giving subsidies. So in all these expenditures, the government is not getting anything. Hence, they are called non-developmental expenditure. So now it is quite clear what is developmental expenditure and what is non-developmental expenditure. Now come to planned and non-planned expenditure. So budget, being a plan of the government in the starting of the year about its prospective incomes and expenditure sources. So many things are planned, but God's will is different. Sometimes we need to meet some non-planned expenditure as well. So planned expenditure, all the expenditures that has been planned in the fiscal policy are called planned expenditure, and in planned expenditure both developmental and non-developmental expenditure comes. But in non-planned expenditure, like suppose some area of our economy got affected by earthquake or flood or tsunami, some natural calamities. So we cannot expect about these things when it will come. But once we are getting affected with all these things, then we have to make some expenditure. So all the expenditure made by government as help to flood victims or cyclone victims or tsunami victims, these are non-planned expenditure. Government cannot make a plan for these. Only what government can do, government can keep a fund to meet unexpected expenditures like this. Thus, government has to meet some planned expenditure and some non-planned expenditure. So these are different types of expenditure that government has to meet in the economic year. Now coming to the another topic, budget deficit. What is budget deficit or fiscal deficit? And again, what are different types of budget deficit? That is revenue deficit, fiscal deficit and primary deficit. All three types of deficits have different implications. We need to understand by knowing revenue deficit what exactly coming into our mind. So if there is a difference between government's income and expenditure, for example, when we are talking about deficit, then there must be expenditure is greater than income of the government. That's why government is in deficit. There is a surplus means government's expenditure must be less than government's income. That's why government has a surplus. But surplus is a myth, because to meet our developmental goal, we need to plan a deficit budget. There must be a budget deficit, and that indicates that economy is developing. So coming to budget deficit, first we have revenue deficit. So we know very well what is revenue account, what is capital account. So revenue deficit is nothing but total revenue total revenue expenditure means all such expenditures of the government that don't affect the liability asset status, and total revenue receipt means all such incomes of the government that don't affect the liability asset status, that is tax receipt and non-tax receipts. Those are revenue receipts. And to understand better what revenue deficit, there is a revenue deficit in our economy. What does it mean? It means that government has simply failed to meet its maintenance cost. But the government is willing to spend. It is not that much income the government is not able to generate. Simply there is revenue deficit. Means the government is not able to meet its day-to-day expenditure for the functioning of the economy or the government. That is the implication of revenue deficit. Now coming to fiscal deficit. It is total expenditure minus total receipt. And when we are speaking about expenditure, it is both the sum of revenue and capital expenditure. And when we are talking about total revenue, the receipt, it is again the sum of both revenue and capital receipt. And remember, in capital receipt, there is a disinvestment, there is loans, but we must exclude the borrowing, because borrowing is from external source. That's why it is not part of our economy. So once again, fiscal deficit is total expenditure minus total receipt, and from this figure we need to reduce again the amount that we have borrowed. Now coming to primary deficit, it is the actual monetary requirement of the economy. Because the expenditure has become more than the income, that's why we have a deficit, and the actual need, how much we actually need to maintain the economy smoothly, to neutralize the government, is revenue deficit. And how we can get revenue deficit? By reducing interest payment from fiscal deficit. From budgetary or fiscal deficit, if we reduce the amount of interest that we are paying, and for what we are paying the amount of interest, the previous loan that we have taken, for that we have to pay some interest, and from fiscal deficit, if we reduce interest payment, then we will arrive at primary deficit. Now the point is that how the government can handle all these three types of deficits. What the government should need, what the government must do to avoid the revenue and fiscal deficit. First coming to revenue deficit. Obviously, governments Expenditure is more than income. So in two way government can handle a revenue deficit, that is by increasing the source of income and by decreasing the expenditure. Both will work, both will help to meet or to rectify the primary deficit. So what type of new income government can generate? Government can impose more new taxes, government can increase the rate of tax. This is how government can increase its revenue income, and at the same time government can reduce the amount of subsidy, government can reduce the amount of non-developmental and non-planned expenditure that we have just discussed. In this way also government can save some money and rectify the revenue deficit. So once again, in order to revenue deficit, government need to either increase its income or decrease its expenditure. How to increase income? By increasing the income from tax and non-tax income, and by decreasing expenditure on non-developmental and non-planned expenditure. See, because we ultimately have to meet the criterion of development, that's why we cannot interfere with developmental and planned expenditure. That's why if at all we want to reduce our expenditure, then we can temper with the non-developmental and non-planned expenditure only. Now coming to fiscal deficit, how? Total expenditure minus total income. Again, fiscal deficit can be reduced or tackled or solved by increasing the source of income and reducing the amount of expenditure. That we have to so we need to, again the same procedure will be applied here. We cannot interfere with developmental and planned expenditure. That's why in order to reduce expenditure, we have to reduce non-planned and non-developmental expenditure, and in order to increase our income, we can increase the income from tax and non-tax receipts. Now primary deficit and its implication, it is really important. What primary deficit actually tells us is that the actual or exact monetary requirement of an economy in one economic year is the primary deficit. That much loan we have to incur, that much amount we have to generate either by taking public borrowing or from rest of the world. So fiscal deficit minus interest payment. So how to reduce primary deficit? If we try to pay along with interest payment some part of the loan that we have incurred, then we can reduce the amount of primary deficit. So this is all about expenditure and how to tackle different types of deficits. So this is all about your syllabus of government budget and the economy. So one more chapter remained, and we will continue with macroeconomics till we finish. After that, we will shift to developmental economics because only 2 lessons are remaining. So for today, thank you and have a nice day.